to Living Out Loud. I'm your host, Kusum. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our videos. Welcome to Living Out Loud. I'm your host, Kusum. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our videos. Today, we're going to go over something that the Queen Maker posted about a woman who wrote an anonymous letter or text, email, whatever. And the Queen Maker, she labeled it that she sabotaged her own life. So the woman who is in this relationship sabotaged her own life and not the man. So let's dig in.
Queen Maker. I have spent a lot of time trying to help women understand why they're in the situations that they find themselves in with men. I wrote a book called 41 Shades of Men, The Pursuit to Subdue and Use You, to help women kind of see their situations and the men that they were with. A lot of women probably haven't come across it yet. So maybe I can help you with some self-awareness by looking at other women's situations, and maybe you can learn something from it. She says, sorry, I don't know how to start, but let's say you and your boyfriend stay together and he works and pays all the bills.
Okay. The first thing is, she said her boyfriend. Okay, so there's a red flag.
Pays all the bills while you're home taking care of the kids and the house. By the time you wake up until you fall asleep, you're tending to your kids and his needs and cleaning, and you make sure that the food is either ready, cooked, or about to be cooked before he gets home, and the house as well as his gaming area is cleaned. He doesn't do anything when he gets home but play his game and eat and say how much you complain and don't do shit. Mind you, every mess he makes, you clean. Every time he makes himself anything, nothing ever gets put up and you don't complain. You just clean it and keep it pushing. Daily, you're constantly reminded daily about how you're a burden that doesn't do anything. And to add fuel to the flame, you just miscarried, and instead of him being there for you, he's at work and doesn't even check on how you feel or anything. So you get dressed up to make yourself feel better, and when it doesn't, you start drinking lightly. My question to you all is, who's wrong and what would you do in this situation? And what makes you a good partner? He pays all of the bills, which isn't much, and takes my car to and from work and pays for the insurance as well. So let me keep it a stack.
Okay, so I want to hear what she actually has to say about this situation first, and then we'll go from there.
Keep it a stack with you. Nothing is ever 50-50. The person who is complaining about a situation is the person who holds 100% accountability to change the situation. This situation.
That's true. If you're not happy where you are, you have to change it, not the other person.
This situation here, he's rather happy with the outcome, which means he's not going to change anything. He's not the one making the post. She's the one who's making the post, which means that there is a problem in her behavior that is netting her an outcome that she does not like. Error number one, she absolutely knows nothing about the nature of men. She chose a man based on her idea of what a man should be, not based on what the man actually is. If she had even a basic understanding of at least just the archetypes of men, she would know that she's number one dealing with a family man. Now, the family man sounds like a good man until you get into the psychology of the type of man who would choose to be a family man. I think Sean Penn said it best in the movie Daddy-O.
Yeah. I was talking about the suit, the car, the house, but it also includes the wife and the kids, the toys. Now, a lot of guys out there, maybe they did fall in love. Maybe they did really want to get married and have kids and whatever the fuck. But deep down, really being honest, looking like a family man's more important than being one.
I tell women all the time that a man is never broke as long as he has a woman. So anytime you decide to cohabitate with a man, which is just like marrying a man, you take on slave labor duties to make his life more palatable and easy. Slavery is your job. So number 2, where you went wrong, is you voluntarily agreed to offer yourself up as a benefits package for him to use because you wanted to manipulate him into performing the way you wanted him to perform for you and your fantasies. But rocking and rolling like that will always net you an L. The other type of man that she does not realize that she is dating is the narcissist man. This man gets with a woman intentionally to use her as a punching bag. So if you combine the family man with the narcissist man, which is what she has here, you get a man who treats the woman he's with like a slave, and he intentionally beats her up psychologically. Number 4, where she's going wrong, because she has zero self-worth and is very desperate to have a man in her life, she has no boundaries and is willing to tolerate anything and cope with anything just to have him. So much to the point that she is now about to be abusing substances instead of making the logical and rational decision to up and leave. Number 5, where she's gone wrong, is she can't see that it was a blessing that the pregnancy did not go to term, giving her an opportunity to free herself. But she can't because she can't see it. The person who is complaining is 100% responsible and accountable for changing the situation so it nets them a better outcome. Women want their cake and eat it too. You want to fulfill your desires, but you don't want the consequences that come with filling your desires. If you keep this man, you have to accept the reality that this is the dynamic and he's not changing because you are functioning exactly the way that he needs you to function in this relationship. If you decide that you don't want that outcome, you're going to have to leave and you're not going to have that man in your life. If you eat the cake, you have to accept the fact that it'll disappear. If you keep the cake, you have to understand and accept the fact that it'll rot. You can't have it and eat it too. Oh, last but not least, the 6th place that she went wrong is wanting a man to pay the bills while you just stay at home and have no other income coming in. You effectively trap yourself. So, in this case, she is in the wrong because she's responsible for changing the situation. But instead, I bet she waits for him to change and puts all of her energy into begging him to do something that he has no desire to do. That man don't even like her.
Okay, so let's go back to what the woman wrote. Okay, so yes, she said, first of all, she took on um, being a baby mama versus someone's wife. And to me, when men take you on as a wife, they're choosing a little more responsibility. And so they might care a little more than they would just keeping you as a girlfriend. So yeah, okay, so he pays all the bills. I do agree that women should have some money to the side. They should learn how to take in some hobbies or some other classes that they can utilize to make some money, just in case there's ever an issue with your boyfriend or husband, let's say. So we know typically a lot of men don't want women to have their own money because it puts them in full dependent mode on them, which is great if that's how you want to live. But you put yourself at risk to where if something happened, you can't do anything unless you have family to help you out. So she's cooking, she's cleaning, she's catering to him, she's having his children, and she's making sure that everything is good for when he comes home from work. And when he gets home from work, he does nothing but play his video game. So that's a typical situation with men. We know long time ago, if you watch like what is it, Ed Bundy and shows like that, the men, they go to work, they come home, they get their beer, they prop their feet up, you serve them their dinner, they watch TV, whatever they want to do, because they're taking care of the home and the way that they feel. So most of the time they don't feel like there's anything else that they need to be doing or should be doing. So first of all, men are typically selfish by nature. They can't help it. So mothers should help to teach their sons how to be a little more selfless. And when men choose to whether they want to marry someone or not, you have to start setting boundaries from the beginning. Because if you don't set boundaries from the beginning, you'll get walked all over. And so, of course, he's happy. He's happy where he is. He doesn't have to do anything. He's got you to take care of everything when it comes to the home, and he pays bills. Typical situation, men and women. So he didn't care that she miscarried. So again, selfish. He's not thinking about her feelings. He feels like what she's doing is not enough. He's expressing how he feels. He says she complains, and that she's a burden. So he's literally telling her how he feels about her, but she's not listening. Because she wouldn't have wrote this message. She would just take action. And I know a lot of women, they don't know much about men. They got this fairy tale fantasy of what they think men should be, but they're just wired differently. And we can't expect a man to behave how we would. It's just not going to work. And so, first of all, by moving in with him, having his children, and he's made no true commitment at that time. So you decided to become his slave by choice. And the Queen Maker, she's right. Your 100% responsibility is to you. So if you choose to say in that situation, you choose to be abused, you choose to be his slave, you choose for him to belittle you and say you're a burden and everything else. So it's not who's wrong in what someone would do in the situation. You don't need no one to tell you what to do. You have all the red flags. but you're choosing to ignore them. Because if you weren't, you would leave. You would go about your business because you're not happy. And he's not happy with you. He's just using you as a placeholder for now. He can get sex from you. He can get food from you. He can get a clean house. He can have a few children that he probably wouldn't even care about if you moved on. So, my dear, you're wrong in this situation. You need to change it. It's your responsibility. You want to know what makes you a good partner? Is that really the question? Do you really want to know what makes you a good partner, or you can want to know what makes him a good partner? Because that's in your eyes of what you feel like a good partner is for you. My standard for a good partner might not be yours. So you have to ask yourself that question. And okay, so he pays all the bills, and you say it isn't much, but he still pays them all. And he's using your car to go to and from work. I guarantee you, when he comes across someone else that he wants to benefit off of, you're going to get dropped like a bad habit quick. So, ma'am, you need to decide. You didn't set boundaries in the beginning. And once you allow someone to do something to you and you don't set that boundary, it's going to continue. So, hopefully, I hope that she's listened to this advice and move forward. You got to remove yourself or deal with it. Either way, it's your choice.
Because she can't see it. The person who is complaining is 100% responsible and accountable for changing the situation so it nets them a better outcome. Women want their cake and eat it too. You want to fulfill your desires, but you don't want the consequences that come with fulfilling your desires. If you keep this man, you have to accept the reality that this is the dynamic and he's not changing because you are functioning exactly the way that he needs you to function in this relationship. If you decide that you don't want that outcome, you're going to have to leave and you're not going to have that man in your life. If you eat the cake, you have to accept the fact that it'll disappear. If you keep the cake, you have to understand and accept the fact that it'll rot. You can't have it and eat it too. Oh, last but not least, the sixth place that she went wrong is wanting a man to pay the bills while you just stay at home and have no other income coming in. You effectively trap yourself. Yeah. So, in this case, she is in the wrong because she's responsible for changing the situation. But instead, I bet she waits for him to change and puts all of her energy into begging him to do something that he has no desire to do. That man don't even like her. No, he don't even like her. So that's it for today. If you like my content, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss these videos. And I'll see you next time. Bye.